Hello, and thank you for your interest in ProConnect Tax. In this video, I will be introducing ProConnect Tax to you. I will highlight the program, including the functionality and some key features, in order to demonstrate that ProConnect Tax is the best web-based professional tax software available today. Let's begin with the background for ProConnect Tax. ProConnect Tax is a 100% online tax solution. What does that mean? It means that your program is always up to date. No more will you have to update your software. No more will you need to manage your database storage for your tax documents. With ProConnect Tax, you have the option of adopting or continuing a remote, paperless workflow and all the advantages that come with it. It means that you can access ProConnect Tax from any supported device with an internet connection. ProConnect Tax supports both Mac and PC, as well as accessibility from mobile devices like tablets and even smartphones. ProConnect Tax is entirely browser-based, and you will be able to utilize Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Safari. You'll also benefit from integration with QuickBooks Online Accountant and Intuit Tax Advisor. These integrations allow you to manage your clients and workflow on a unified platform, as well as automate data entry for your bookkeeping clients and accelerate tax advisory services with prescribed strategies and insights from your individual client's tax return. And of course, you're not alone. We have dedicated chat and phone support through our customer success team. If you ever find that you need a little help, Intuit is there for you at no extra cost. ProConnect Tax also supports over 6,000 forms. With the robustness of the Lacert tax engine, you are not sacrificing tax calculations and accuracy for the convenience of the cloud. On this screen, you can see the main types for tax returns that are supported within ProConnect Tax. Let's jump into ProConnect Tax. The Tax Hub is where we will begin our demonstration. Here, you can find a persistent column along the left that will serve as a navigation panel throughout ProConnect Tax. It will allow you to quickly navigate throughout the program. It also includes the Help tab, where you will find the ProConnect Tax Digital Assistant. The Digital Assistant can help answer questions related to ProConnect Tax and can connect you to resources as quickly as possible. Other resources like the Help Portal, Training Portal, and Form Status tab further ensures that you can find answers to your questions directly within the program. And of course, if you're ever not sure of where to go for help or need a little extra help, our customer success team is here to help with live chat and phone support for customer service or technical support needs. On the navigation panel, you will also find a gear icon denoting program settings. The gear icon will allow you to enter firm information like preparer information, including a P10 and any other applicable PINs or identifying information. And within the data entry section of the tax return, you will be able to tell the program which preparer needs to appear on the signature line for that particular return. It also allows you to enter firm information that will appear on the tax return. Of special significance is the EFIN, or Electronic Filing Identification Number. Here, you can submit EFIN documentation for verification. Once verified with Intuit, your masked EFIN will display on this page. And EFIN is required if you intend on electronically filing a tax return in any professional tax software. If you do not have an EFIN, you must apply for one online through the IRS e-services platform. You are also able to invite users via the program settings. Anyone who uses ProConnect Tax must be invited as a user, but you have the option to restrict which clients they have access to, as well as limiting their ability to e-file. You can have an unlimited number of users within ProConnect Tax. Also, please note that within Settings you can find the Conversion Wizard. This tool is used to convert data from other software into ProConnect Tax. This allows you to pro forma or transfer information from the prior year tax returns and other tax software into the current year of ProConnect Tax. Navigation through ProConnect Tax is very open-ended. There are several right ways to move throughout the program. This allows you to find a workflow or navigation method that works best for you. Let me introduce the organization of the program's Tax Returns tab or Tax Hub and Clients tab so that you can begin to see how you will prefer to work within the program. The Tax Hub is the more traditional view. By default, it will show you all the tax returns sorted by tax type for all clients of that tax year. This allows you to view a tax return by clicking on the name of the tax return or by utilizing the Actions column to view the return. You can also search or filter this list to find a particular client or clients. Unlike traditional desktop software, all of the years for ProConnect Tax are contained within this platform. Simply clicking the year drop-down allows you to change which year's tax returns are shown. Notice that you don't have to only view tax returns by return type. You have the option to view returns by e-file progress, by e-signature status, by return status, or by who is assigned to the return. You are further able to fully customize the list of return statuses to best fit your workflow. I can begin a return from this view by clicking on Create Tax Return in the upper right. Before I do that, however, let's take a look at another view, the Clients tab. Clicking the Clients tab will open the list of clients that I have for all years. This is like a modernized Rolodex that allows you to view or search for any client. Upon opening a client, you will find their contact information as well as all tax returns you have prepared for them. This allows you to see all of a client's returns in one spot, instead of having to open multiple programs to find them. As before, we can click on the return name or use the Actions column to view a return for this client. Also contained here are three other tabs besides the Tax Return tab. They contain the Tax Planning module, the Document Storage Platform, and IRS transcript data. The Tax Plan utility allows you to create basic tax plans or what-if scenarios of up to 3 years with 3 cases. These tax plans use a starting point return as the base year for planning purposes. The Documents tab allows you to save documents pertaining to this client, sorted by tax year, and using a file structure that you create. This allows you to switch between years to view documents for this client and, most importantly, allows you to produce these documents from virtually anywhere due to them being saved in the cloud through ProConnect Tax. The IRS Transcripts tab allows you to retrieve transcripts for 1 or several years for the client from the IRS if you have authorization to do so on file with the IRS. Those retrieved transcripts, as well as the history of which transcripts have been retrieved for a client, will be stored here. Let's go back to the Tax Returns tab for this client, or the main Tax Returns tab for this client, and click on the button in the upper right to create a tax return. After clicking on Create Tax Return, you are given some options to choose what type of return to create and for which tax year. You can choose to edit the return name, which can always be renamed later, and to transfer data from a prior year return in order to begin the return with key information already completed from the previous year. Clicking Save will create the new tax return. After the return has been created, we are brought to the Profile tab. This is the foundation of the return that will allow us to add states and tell the program what we will be electronically filing. Adding a state is very straightforward. Either choose the state from the drop-down or search for the state using the search box. Once you've completed this profile information, you will no longer start here when opening the return. While you can always click on the Profile tab to make edits in the future, from here on out, you will be placed directly in the Input Return tab when viewing or opening this return. Let's take a closer look at the Input Return tab. The Input Return tab allows you to enter information directly within the return. ProConnect Tax organizes potential input by category, like income, deductions, and credits, both in a consolidated navigation panel as well as within a table of contents. This allows you to find input that is needed by starting with the applicable broad category and narrowing down to the specific input you are looking for. If you prefer, you can also search for input. This allows you to search for section items which are the highest level of organization below the main categories. Field descriptions, which are the input labels for the input fields, and field data, which is user-entered, imported, or transferred input like social security numbers or specific amounts within the inputs. You may have clients that have income reported on a partnership's K1. Because this is a type of income, expanding the income section will allow us to narrow down our categories to find a new category labeled Pass-Through K1s. Expanding this section allows us to choose the partnership or 1065 info, which will take us to the input screen where we can begin entering this K1 information. Many input screens within ProConnect Tax will have tabs across the top. These tabs will allow you to enter more than one form or activity that is related to the selected input screen. In this example, if the taxpayers had more than one K1 for a partnership, you could select the plus sign next to the current tab to create a new input tab for this second Schedule K1. You can also click on the icon with 3 horizontal lines, sometimes called a hamburger button. This will take you to a table-like input screen that lists all activities, schedules, or assets that you have entered for this category. This quick entry grid allows you to enter high-level information with the option to click on the Details button in order to enter specific or more detailed information. Finally, within some input screens, you'll find another layer of tabs towards the very top of the input screen. These tabs will let you jump even further into relevant input fields in order to enter specific information about the selected category. In general, this organization and style carries throughout the program. Therefore, what you will likely find is that if you are well versed in entering certain forms and activities, you will be able to quickly apply that skill to entering other activities, even those you might not have entered before. Now that we have taken a look at the Input Return tab, let's turn our attention to viewing the tax forms, diagnostics, and suggestions as part of the review process. You may be inclined to click on the Check Return tab towards the top of the screen. While this will allow us to view the forms, suggestions, and diagnostics, you can also access the tax forms while on the Input Return tab. To do so, click on the Preview Forms button located towards the upper right. This will expand a new browser window that will allow us to view the federal and state forms. Notice that we can apply a filter to show all possible forms, or just the forms that are applicable or generating with this return. From there, you can even search for a specific form, schedule, or document in order to more quickly access it. A key feature regarding this Preview Forms mode is that you can now drag this window onto another monitor, allowing you to have the tax forms open while you are making input. When we click on the Check Return tab, we will be able to see a similar view, although it has not opened in a new window. We are now also able to view tax summary information, as well as the critical diagnostics and suggestions. The tax summary will list amounts as they were reported in prior years. This is an extremely useful tool when reviewing the return as part of basic diagnostic work in determining the accuracy of the return, and in being able to explain to your clients how their tax situation may have changed year over year. Critical diagnostics go a little bit farther. They will essentially list incorrect or, more commonly, missing information within the return that will likely cause a rejection if not corrected. Very conveniently, you are able to view the diagnostic and make changes directly from the Check Return tab without the need to view the Input Return tab directly. However, we do give you the option to quickly view the input screen if you need more context in regards to a particular diagnostic. Diagnostics also have a reference number, which is extremely useful if the need arises to contact our customer success support team for assistance. Once you have corrected the critical diagnostics, clicking Refresh Diagnostics will remove them from the list of critical diagnostics. Suggestions are also a type of diagnostic. I like to refer to them as heads-up diagnostics. They are not necessarily items that need correction, but they are something that we want to draw your attention to. These suggestions are a key component to the robustness of ProConnect Tax and go beyond what other solutions might offer. Many times, you can severely reduce your client's tax liability or avoid an embarrassing oversight by reviewing these suggestions. If the suggestion doesn't apply, you can safely ignore them. Otherwise, you can correct them the same way we correct critical diagnostics before. These suggestions really act as a co-pilot when reviewing the return. Now that we have completed our input and reviewed the forms and diagnostics, we are ready to file the return. Filing the return is a streamlined process that allows you to quickly print or electronically file the return. Let's head to the File Return tab. Notice that we're not able to file this return because the critical diagnostics have not been cleared. You can, however, click on the link to view and resolve these critical diagnostics. Once these diagnostics are cleared, you can select the federal and state returns that need to be electronically filed and press the E-File button. This button means what it says. It is just like dropping the return into a mailbox, as there is not a way to retrieve the return after it is filed. For timely filing, the return is considered to be filed at the time just after you press E-File and the return is received at Intuit's e-file server. Before you e-file, consider utilizing e-signature to collect e-file authorization signatures from your client. Intuit e-signature will work with any return type and will allow you to collect signatures on any document you so choose. However, you are responsible for ensuring that an electronic signature is compliant for any particular document you request an e-signature for. E-signature is truly a huge time saver, allowing you to retrieve signatures from clients who may be less than eager to come visit you or that may be unable to meet in person. E-signature is one of the few functionalities within ProConnect Tax that is not inclusive of the price of the return credit. You must purchase e-signature envelopes separately, but these envelopes can include multiple documents requiring multiple signatures. You can purchase e-signature envelopes separately or benefit from discounts by purchasing in bulk. View Print Return PDF will generate a PDF version of the tax return. You can then save or print the return as needed. Printing the return or e-filing the return, the first time only, will deduct a credit from your return bank. Unless you change the Social Security number or EIN, you will not be charged another credit on the same return after generating the PDF or e-filing. So you can print the return, e-file the return, and print the return again, never being deducted more than one credit. Let's next turn our attention to two key features in ProConnect Tax: Intuit Link and QuickBooks Online Accountant integration. Intuit Link is a collaboration platform for you and your clients. It allows you to send an engagement letter, questionnaire, and document request to all of your clients, including all business clients, such as pass-through, corporate, exempt organizations, etc., and of course, individual clients. Link can also serve as a channel of communication for your clients to ask specific questions about their questionnaire or document request you send to them. Intuit Link is an included component of ProConnect Tax and does not incur any additional costs. You can access Intuit Link from the left-hand navigation panel. The first time you visit this section, you'll be shown an overview of how the platform works. As mentioned, you are able to invite clients to answer questions and upload documents. You are able to easily track the progress of these requests, and, very conveniently for individual 1040 clients, you can import select source documents directly into the program. Before you create your first request, I recommend adjusting your Intuit Link settings. Clicking on the settings link towards the upper right of the Intuit Link dashboard will allow you to make these adjustments. With these settings, you can customize your client's experience. For example, you can add your firm logo. You can also create templates or utilize the Quick Start templates that we provide. These templates include a full customizable engagement letter, questionnaire, and document checklist. You are also able to subscribe to a daily digest email containing your client's activities for the prior day, and you can edit the invitation email, which is the first thing your clients will see when you send them a request. When you invite clients to Intuit Link, you'll have the option to choose the template you want to use, but you'll also have the option to apply any last-minute edits. Your client can then access Intuit Link after accepting the invitation. Intuit Link for your client is web-based. No need to download or install an app. Most taxpayers participate with Intuit Link on their phone's browser, but a PC or Mac would work as well. There, they can answer the questions you have asked and can upload documents by either connecting with their financial institution, uploading a digital document, or, if they are on a mobile device, they can snap a picture and submit the document without having to scan or save files. By the way, Intuit Link even allows you to act as the taxpayer and upload documents or answer questions on their behalf. Throughout this process, you can monitor the progress of clients via the Intuit Link dashboard, and you can also view when and what activities your clients have taken by viewing the activity feed. Finally, within a tax return, you can review your client's responses and import select documents, like the W-2 and 1099s, from Intuit Link and have them populate inside the return, avoiding the need for direct data entry and automating a significant portion of your data entry work. You can also sync your cloud storage solutions to upload source documents directly for data import. QuickBooks Online integrates with ProConnect Tax. The first thing you may notice within ProConnect Tax or within QuickBooks Online Accountant, or QBOA, is that your client list is shared between the two platforms. From within QBOA, you can even sort to only view your tax clients. You can also create a tax return for clients or open an already created tax return directly from the client list in QBOA. Having a shared client list also allows you to utilize the Work tab within QBOA for your tax clients. From here, you can create projects and assign tasks to specific users, allowing you and all users in your firm to have a bird's eye view of what work is being completed or is in progress. Prep for Taxes provides you the ability to complete year-end tasks, review and adjust information from a client's books, and allows you to map amounts to specific line items for import into the tax return. The tax mapping within Prep for Taxes is smart and will map many of the common items for you. However, you may have to map some of your miscellaneous categories that are a little more subjective. The good news is that after you have mapped this client, Prep for Taxes will remember your key mappings for the future. You can also adjust what return type this client needs to file. This will allow you to map this information into the appropriate tax form inside ProConnect Tax. Once you have reviewed the tax mappings, you can either create a new return with the mappings or update an already created return. You can also export the information as a CSV or spreadsheet file. After updating or creating a return, you can then utilize the Check Return tab to review the tax forms and can, of course, make any additional input within the return as well. By utilizing Prep for Taxes, you have significantly reduced the input required for your business clients or sole proprietors through some key automation. Another huge time saver. Finally, let's discuss Intuit Tax Advisor, a solution that allows you to create custom tax plans in minutes and communicate to clients valuable savings, all by using tax strategies automatically generated from your ProConnect Tax returns. You can access Intuit Tax Advisor by clicking on Tax Advisor in the left navigation panel. Here, you will see an overview of Intuit Tax Advisor as well as the option to get 3 free credits. Clicking on Launch Intuit Tax Advisor will open the program in another browser tab. The welcome page is where you will find resources, videos, and the product overview. You'll see a preview of your clients, their potential tax savings, and likely strategies. All of this integrated with your client's tax returns prepared with ProConnect Tax. Select Create Tax Plan to start a tax plan. We are now able to select the client to begin a tax plan for. The client we selected from the client preview will be automatically selected here. We can further adjust the tax year and tax return for which to base this tax plan off of. After naming the plan, we're ready to click Start Planning. The pre-strategy baseline will show the imported tax return data on the first column. You can update the income and deductions on each activity on the projected year baseline to account for life changes such as increases or decreases in income. If you need to add a new activity for the projected year, click Add New Activity. You also have a notes section where you can collaborate internally with your staff and document any relevant information. Let's move on to the Strategy tab and start applying some tax-saving strategies. The Strategies tab in Intuit Tax Advisor is where you can start applying tax-saving strategies for your clients. Intuit Tax Advisor will automatically generate tax strategy recommendations with the highest potential tax savings on the Insights tab. Each applied strategy will include the projected year's baseline numbers, strategy change amount, combined marginal rates from the pre-strategy baseline, strategy savings, and net out-of-pocket cash estimated to implement the strategy. You can add additional strategies or toggle strategies on or off to evaluate different scenarios. Each tax strategy within Intuit Tax Advisor comes with a detailed strategy card that provides more context for the strategy. You also have the ability to create and add your own custom strategies within Intuit Tax Advisor. The next tab Review Plan allows you to review the strategies that have been applied in context with the tax return. Similar to the pre-strategy baseline, you can expand the detail of each activity. Intuit Tax Advisor will also provide accurate tax liabilities for both federal and the primary state of residence. On the Client Report tab, we can view the deliverable. Intuit Tax Advisor allows you to generate personalized client reports with ease. Let's start with the proposal. Here, we can see the customizable introductory details of the tax plan, presented in a way that provides clients an overview of the plan with key insights and, perhaps most importantly, actionable next steps to get started. You can make changes to this proposal using the report navigation located along the left side of the screen. This report can be further customized in the Client Report settings, where you can add your company logo and select custom colors. The tax plan has similar customization options. You can edit, hide, or remove content that you want to appear in the tax plan. The tax plan will provide all key disclaimers, details, insights, context, and instructions for realizing the prescribed strategies while emphasizing the tax savings to your client. Once you have finished reviewing and customizing the tax plan, you are able to download this completed version to share with your clients. With Intuit Tax Advisor, you now have a customizable client deliverable that can be shared with your clients to provide estimated tax savings, details around each strategy, and showcase your value as a trusted advisor.